Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. What is today? Monday, February 5th, 2024. When you get old like me, you get issues, man. Anyway, look, post-market report on this day, and we have a lot to talk about. One of these days, I'm going to take a snapshot of this. It's it's a disaster on an epic scale. Anyway, so let's talk about a couple of things. Let's start off with the supreme ultimate freak. Actually, maybe not the ultimate, but he's pretty damn close. I'm talking about Yellowstone Powell, the Fed chair guy. So he said something yesterday which spooked the markets today a little bit. And you watched the sell off here with regard to the 10-year yield now hitting 4.17. Okay, whatever. What was that? We may keep rates higher for longer. Let me explain this to you in case you don't know. Not only is he spraying his shorts everywhere he possibly can, every member of the Federal Reserve cannot possibly wait till they start cutting rates. Again, tell Greg Mannarino one more time, because sometimes I'm a little senile in my old age here. Tell Gregory Mannarino one more time, where is it that a central bank's power resides? The one thing. Exactly. I hear you in my ear. Its ability to inflate. Now, understanding the mechanism here, Fed's going to cut rates, which they are. Okay, this is a game that is being played right now. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But when the Fed says, hey, guys and girls, let's share a secret here. We're going to be cutting rates. What immediately should come to mind here is the Federal Reserve. Maybe they do practice black magic, okay, but they're not magical. All right, they can't just say, "Hey, this is going to happen," and just by decree or by the wave of a magic wand, rates drop. No, the Fed has to actually create epic sums of cash out of nothing and get in here and buy the debt. And of course, that would suppress rates. So that's how it works. People are not allowed to know that. They're not supposed to know. It's just like, for example, this, what is it, $118 billion now to fund the Israel war and the Ukraine war, and also to secure the border. Where does that cash come from? Because we don't have it. Oh, yes, it comes directly from the Federal Reserve, who is more than happy to lend. Oh, yeah, you can't make this stuff up. So the thing, creature, abominous mess, puke that he is, spooked the market yesterday. Fine. Let me tell you something about this market. It needs to drop. This was nothing today. We did watch the major indexes fall today a little bit. Nothing major. We did get that knee jerk into the dollar that you would expect after we're at war. The United States is clearly at war. We don't talk about it as a war. It won't be declared as a war, but you're going to pay for it. Where's all this cash coming from? Of course, it's being added to the national debt, being borrowed directly from the Federal Reserve is more than happy to lend. You know that, okay? Anyway, yes, it is voodoo banking in a lot of ways. Nice comment over there. Anyway, so another statement. Now I want you to understand. Look, we've got a lot to talk about, so just bear with me a little bit. So we heard from the creature Powell again, and he's setting the stage. Here's the situation here. The Federal Reserve must remain blameless. In other words, they're on the side of angels. They're on the side of angels, cloaked in white, and they just float around the halls of the Federal Reserve like divinity. They all think they're divinity, and I don't even think they're freaking human, but that's besides the point. So this is the groundwork that's being laid. So the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, said the United States is on an unsustainable fiscal path. And he goes on to say, this is a quote, all right? The United States federal government, obviously, they are not federal and they are not Federal Reserve. They are no more federal than Federal Express. The Federal Reserve is just a nice, catchy name. Anyway, so the U.S. federal government is on an unsustainable fiscal path. And that just means that the debt, listen to this part. This is the part that gets me, and it should get you too. The debt is growing faster than the economy. So it is unsustainable. So let me ask you, because we're friends, right? You and I can talk about anything. Am I right on that? Okay. So if the debt is growing faster, who's supplying the debt? Who runs the economy? Who runs the financial system, the financial markets? Who's the go-to entity out here that's supplying all the debt? It's the Federal Reserve. So this statement is unbelievable that he actually admitted this, that the debt is not sustainable. We're on an unsustainable path. Means the debt is growing faster than the economy. But they're the ones supplying all the debt. They're supposed to maintain price stability. You have to understand, the Federal Reserve is already in breach of contract. They should be eliminated. They should be gone right now. You see, if we had a real government of the people, by the people, and for the people, you and I should be able to take them down now via our so-called representatives. But we have zero representation. Can you see that? Zero? Yeah, zero. Zero, double zero representation here. The Federal Reserve is supposed to maintain price stability. It's a mandate of the Federal Reserve. Well, how's that working out? Number two, they're supposed to maintain full employment. Now, the employment numbers that they're throwing at us, they're all fake, as is everything else. I mean, people, do we need to talk about this again? What did we find out? Every single bit of the data that was regurgitated, or should I say vomited or puked out by the freaking Bureau of Labor Statistics, which they admitted is fake. We found out that it's all fake. It's all not real. It's imaginary. Everything, and yeah, we got some interesting news today too on the economic front. The ISM service sector, the index came in higher. We've been in contraction, I don't know how long now, and all of a sudden we get a little bump higher, and they're doing little cartwheels and backflips around the office. Oh yes, it's great. Everything's going to turn around now. How about no? First of all, it's fake. All right, that's number one. Number two is we got nowhere to go but much lower. And don't take my word for it, because according to Jerome Powell, thin creature vomitous mess that he is, we are on an unsustainable fiscal path because the debt is growing faster than the economy, and they supply the debt. Make it up. Make it up. Please, someone here help me. I need help. I'm sweating, and my heart's pounding, and my blood pressure just went to the freaking moon, and I'm going to have a vapor lock right here. You can't make this stuff up. Let me calm down for a moment, okay? Let me just relax for a second. So let's talk about this market. Gold and silver did fall under some pressure today, nothing much. Cryptocurrencies fell under pressure, nothing much. Crude oil catching a little bid here, which is surprising considering what's going on. Let me throw something else out here at you, okay? Let's talk about this real quick. So we understand what this is really all about. This war, I'm laughing. I shouldn't laugh because people are dying, and we're paying for it all, of course. And all this is going to do is empower the Federal Reserve even more. But I shouldn't be laughing. So this is not about retaliation. They can care less about 3 soldiers dying, or 300, or 3,000, or 300,000 dying. Okay, they don't care. They don't care about the attacks that are going on there on bases in the Middle East, because they're only there to protect the oil. Okay, we're not protecting terrorism. This is not an anti-terrorism campaign. U.S. military bases in the Middle East are there for one reason, and one reason only, that's to protect the oil. Period. The end. That is also a mandate that the U.S. military must protect the oil of OPEC nations. You all know that. Must protect it. And that's why they're there. It has nothing to do with terrorism. We also understand that this has nothing to do whatsoever with attacks in the Red Sea. Zero, just so you know. What this is about is sending a message. It's sending a political message, or, war is achieving a political end by other means. You understand? That's all that it is. War, and we are at war right now. We're sending a message to the BRIC nations. We're sending another message too. The other message is this: for any other OPEC nation or energy producing nation to stay away from the BRICS alliance. Again, the U.S. coalition, just so you know, I'm going to give you a little reminder here, okay? Not one is a member of the BRICS nations. You think that's just by chance, just by coincidence? Really? Is that what you think? I know you don't. But so this is a message. It's a very wide message. The Federal Reserve's enforcement arm is the U.S. military. They control and they fund the U.S. military. It's not presidents that say, okay, we're going to do this, that, and the other thing. All the cash has to come from them because we have none. We are the most destitute, broke, indebted nation in the history of the world. Laughing stock of the world, as a matter of fact. That's the truth. But again, this is the curse that all of us here around the world have to live under. the rulership of a private entity, and I'm talking about central banks. They run the world. We cannot be free. I did an interview today, a very interesting one. John Dowling, I think he's even here today. We talked about, this mechanism here. We can't be free. You understand, look, the deception, the distraction, the savior deity that they're going to possibly put behind the Resolute desk. I know a lot of you think that someone may be put there that's been, anointed by God himself. You're putting your faith in the wrong place. You're absolutely, your compass is a few degrees off here, clearly. I'm not going to save anything, just so you know. But anyway, here, we can't be free without a sound money system. That's why this was written into the Constitution. What's happening now is completely unconstitutional. You understand that? And it's unfortunate that we are forced to bow down to this instant. You see what the members of Congress do. When the creature thing puke, vomitous mass, frankly, the most hideous man, no, maybe not the most hideous, but pretty close to it. I'm talking about Powell yet again, marches into a congressional committee. They worship him. It's as if he walks on water. Okay, thank you, sir, for your service. He walks in. It's silent. They roll out the red carpet. You can hear a pin drop in the room. It has entered the room. It has entered the room. You can hear, hallelujah. You can hear it in the background, and then they bow down to him. Thank you for your service to the world, sir. Thank you. Maybe we should canonize you. Yes, I think we should canonize you, sir, because you're the best, and they're telling us, Anyway, you know the story here. I wouldn't be surprised if they canonize this guy. Janet Yellen eventually will be canonized, of course, Hi, everybody's liquid, but the liquidity is down here. It's down in my diaper. You know that. I can't stand her. Oh, don't make me do these things, people. Please, God. Anyway, look. What else you want to talk about? Let's just say this here. I want this market to fall so bad I can taste it. That's number one. And I don't mean crash. I mean, this market's going to fall. Market's going up. But this market needs to fall. It's ridiculous. It's I don't know what it is right now. Despite the fact that we watched the 10-year yield bump up, what do we fall today? Not much. We got the Dixie or the dollar index is firmly over 104. That's going to drop too. Just watch how this plays out as the war expands. More cash pulled into now billions, hundreds of billions. It's going to be in the trillions, okay, at one point. All of this you're not supposed to know is, of course, massively inflationary. It's going to suck one more time, suck the purchasing power away out of the dollar and every other freaking nation around the world people of the world being forced to live under the rulership of a central bank. Where's the revolution, people? Oh, man, I tell you. All right, look, I don't know what else to talk about. We're kind of done. So I'm going to throw it over to you guys and girls. Thank you for these thumbs up. We're doing pretty well. I know we can improve that. People, look, I'm counting on you for these things. My blood pressure alone should warrant a freaking thumbs up here. These thumbs up are valuable. I'm telling you, it lets people see. What happens if the 10-year yield keeps spiking? That is a fantastic question, and I love that you're paying attention. 844, yeah, it's the Copo. I'm looking to go faster than that soon. Anyway, 10-year yield, look. We'll understand. While you got the propaganda ministry, all right, CNBC, probably number one, CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg, they want you to focus on the Dow 30 like it's the last thing. It's the end all. It's the alpha and the omega. The Dow 30 is the alpha and the omega. No, it isn't. The drivers of this market are the drivers of the market here. The 10-year yield is the benchmark. In fact, I talked about this today again in the interview I did with John over there. Anyway, it's not gonna happen right now because it's a election year. They got to fake the economy, more propaganda, more distractions, more distortions, more unsustainable path. But the Federal Reserve is more unhappy to lend, or even though they just called out their own. I mean, it's amazing to me. I can't stand reading this. I'm going to say it again real quick. I'm throwing off course here, but the government's unsustainable fiscal path is that the debt is growing faster than the economy. Tell me again, who supplies all the debt? It's amazing. It's crazy. Who's more than willing to lend? The same creature institution. Anyway, so going back to the 10-year yield, yes, eventually we are going to see a super spike here. A super spike that's going to make people's heads spin around like the freaking exorcist. Abe, thank you. Right, Magic Maker, you know it too. Lava's it. Everybody knows it here. Joe's here. 69 Strat. All my friends. We're going to see a spike here in the 10-year yield at one point. That means debt market's going to sell off. We're not there yet. Okay. And the market seems okay with this right now. Okay. You have to take it. Look, the picture isn't, it's dynamic. You have to pay attention to what's happening from so many freaking angles. Um, right now, again, the market realizes, as you and I do, that they're going to cut rates. Period. They're going to weaken the dollar as well via inflation, however they got to do it. You know what I'm talking about. Wars, expanding wars, more people are going to die. Tens of thousands, millions probably are going to die at the end of this whole thing. Yes, Jerome, Bionic Steel. We will at one point see a spiking in the 10-year yield. That means that, and I mean super spike, like 4.5%, 5%, 5.5%, like over a matter of probably hours. People, days to hours, people are going to run to the door at the same time. It's going to put enormous pressure on the stock market. Cash bleeds out of debt market, plus cash bleeds out of stock market, just moves. It moves into other assets. It doesn't fly away to money heaven. I told you this a million times. All right, there is no money heaven. It moves from one reality into another. Cash is just going to move like it always does in waves. We're going to see commodities skyrocket. That's why I've been telling people silver, my favorite asset of all time. Commodities you need exposure to. I think you need to be long this market right now. I want you all to embrace a drop in the stock market, which I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I want to see the market drop because I want to buy the market cheaper. You understand? That's what I want to do. I'm getting longer and longer and longer this market. Yes, that's what I'm doing. As hard as it may seem to believe, but that's how it's going to play out here. The game is stay long. In Greg Mannarino's book, I've been right for years, and I'm going to continue to be right until we see a spiking in or a big, massive sell-off in the debt market. We're not there yet. We know the Fed's going to control rates. They're going to suppress rates along with other central banks around the world. And you and I are going to pay the price for it. This entire thing is going to melt down on a grand scale. And the Fed's setting the stage. They're blaming, again, they're telling us, the Federal Reserve, that the government is on an unsustainable path. What they're really trying to say is this whole freak show is not sustainable. We are going to crash and crater and melt down beyond anyone's wildest dreams. That's where we're going. You all know that. That's why we're ready from every freaking angle that you can imagine, you and me. Okay. From every angle, we have been preparing for this mentally, physically, spiritually, that golden thread that surrounds us all here. So one of you posted that here. We got to love each other. They want us to hate each other's guts and not care who we kill anywhere around the world. But let me tell you this. Let me let you in on a little secret here, just in case you don't know. We're all connected here under the Almighty. I think that, He created all of us here. And if we just sit back and do nothing while women and children are being exterminated around the world here, if we just sit and we just let it go in one ear and out the other, aren't we complicit here? It affects all of us. Every single one of us is affected by that. And maybe you even feel it in the negativity. Let me tell you something. There is energy around this world. Again, a product of the Almighty that animates every single one of us. Okay, that's the truth. And if some people around the world are being slaughtered by the thousands, by the tens of thousands, are you trying to tell me that doesn't affect every single one of us? If you think it doesn't, you're wrong. Why do you think depression is running rampant? Ill health around the world? Why people are dying faster? I think we know that too. But lots of other things are going on too, people. Start to get hip to it all. Once you realize that, the whole world is going to change for you. Until that time, you're going to be a slave. You're going to believe the propaganda that's shoved down your throat and inside every orifice as deep as they can shove it. You understand? I think you do. Okay. Anything else you guys and girls want to talk about before I let you go? You guys and girls are so awesome, man. I love all of you so much. It's really the truth. All right, look, I think, look, I told you, I will include NVIDIA. I think people need to be long tech. I told you this last year, 2024, war and tech. We need, let me just say this too, okay? Let me just set the stage for you. Tech right now has gotten stupid. We need tech to drop. We need the entire market to fall. Let me tell you what Greg Mannarino would love to see. Joseph, I know you know what I'm about to say, maybe. I want to see this market fall 5, 10, 15%. Maybe even 20. All right, I would love to see that. And I will buy more like you can't possibly believe. As long as, let me stipulate this for the millionth freaking time. As long as we don't see a meltdown in the debt market, it's a buy signal. It's a buy signal for this market. But this market has gotten insane. Beyond insane. Nothing makes sense. But that's okay. Again, that's our strength here, people. And we know where to look. No one's got this down better than you and me. Nobody. We got this covered, and I love that. And we got each other's backs. How can we possibly lose? All right, look, I'm gonna call this, I think, right now. Hey, I want to thank, there's about 1,000 people, 1,000 of you who have now following me on Instagram, Gregory Mannarino Racing. It's not really a link, but because I don't know how to make. So actually, Magic Mika here sent me a link earlier, and I did not post it. But check out my Instagram, Gregory underscore Mannarino underscore Racing. I got 1,000 followers, and I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff there. Tomorrow's my tech tip. Don't miss my tech tip for tomorrow. You're going to like it, all you gearheads out here. And I just posted something there also today. All right, look, I'm going to get out of here. People, thank you again. Thank you for your love, your friendship. It means so much to me. You have no idea. We are a family. This is a global family, and I'm proud to kind of be like the daddy here in many ways here. But this is our thing. This is our thing, and it couldn't possibly make me happier. Christian Correa, thank you. I appreciate that very much. All right, look, everybody, we're out of here. See you in the morning. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Greg, you're off the wall. Greg, you're making sense. Whatever it might be. And that's it, all right? I'll see you in the morning.